Okay.
Every week we open wide the virtual stage where ideas spark and wisdom fills the page. From the UK to the land of maple trees, John and Mike bring clarity with ease. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine your message, taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine your message, taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. Thank you for joining us, we're glad you're here. Together we grow, it's loud and clear. On Zoom we connect, we learn, we grow. Welcome my friend, enjoy the show.
Hello, welcome. Yeah, I suppose it's a little bit disappointing. It is, but maybe we can look at this from another angle. Hello again. No, still. What do we do when we got a bad background? Twice. We go green, don't we? Let's go green. Other pop-ups are available, but maybe not as quick as that one. So there we are, we've gone green. Well, everything's going wrong today. Because my audio's gone really quiet. But I'm making enough noise for Zoom. We've got the subtitles. So let's try that. Is that a bit louder?
There's John.
That's
Hello, everybody. Yep. I'm not sure what happened there, but as soon as you moved backwards to pull up the green screen, the audio
died.
changed.
It died.
But you're much better now. Hi, everybody. Back to John.
Mike, no, come back. Come back.
Come back. What happened?
So, green screens. Do we like them?
Green screens. I like them lit well.
Okay. So is
If we're going to use them,
this is lit well?
it's lit fine. Again, where you need a little more lighting, because again, you could tell that on the top you're lit well, but you don't have a lot on the bottom. So where it'll get not as effective is from your shoulders down, because it's darker colored down there. They're not lit as well down there. But it's nothing wrong with, it's the proper green that you're using. So the screen itself is actually a proper green. But yeah, but again, of course you can tell it's actually a pull-up too, because you can see how John still has on his
accidentally on purpose, just left you a little bit.
Accidentally on purpose, yes.
Yeah. So I can use virtual backgrounds from Zoom. I could
sure can.
One of our little things. I could take a nice country scene, and I can use all of my community logos I like. But I'm not sure that's really professional enough. Supposing we flip over to this. He looks quite good, doesn't he? Shame he doesn't move. Let's see if we can animate him with a reset. No, we can't. That's a shame. So I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill that input. And I'm going to try and bring myself back on this input. And supposing we then, and as you can guess, I have some tools doing clever things or not so clever things in this case in the background.
Right.
So I'm going to take that there. And I'm going to bring that up so you can see it. And
Yep, we've got you, John.
then maybe I will, let's do some color key. Let's go some chroma key. And let's get that back to black. How about that? And then what we'll do is we'll go to layers and we'll get rid of that bit. Oh, no, over there. We'll get that bit. No, where is it? It's there, isn't it? It's over there. So let's get that bit. So X goes across, Y goes up and down. Have to remember these things. Let's get rid of. That's weird. Okay. That's very weird. Okay. Something weird is going on here. There we are. I have control. That's what I wanted. So let's get rid of the top. That's it. And we'll go to effects, go back to color correction. Okay. Now you didn't see a lot of that, which was a bit of a shame really, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, why not make your green screen more exciting? How about that as a green screen? And now I'm going to go and select myself, pardon pun, and put myself on the screen. So let's put me on the screen, which I think is that one. There I am. Cool. Now, Mike is probably unimpressed, and the rest of you are thinking, what the heck is going on? Well, this is quite easy, really. I am in a set designed in a product called vMix, but it doesn't matter because most of these editing programs that allow you to do virtual productions will have something like this, where you can define a scene. So I am a small little box. That's why I need to be transparent, because I want the background to appear. And I am now sitting in my little place. And if I think that I'm not to scale, shall we say, I could make myself bigger or smaller. I could play around with myself, and I could make myself look bigger or smaller on this stage. I'm not going to for now. But I got 2 TV sets. Can you see I got 2 TV sets? Well, those 2 TV sets are also on an input. And if I press a button here, I now have a presentation on those 2. And I can make the presentation, because the presentation is actually coming from my laptop over here. I can make the presentation change. Let me select the presentation, get the click button to the right place, and I should be able to go like that. And look, my slides change. Now, it just happens to be PowerPoint, but it could be anything, any input you like. And I can tell you that Mike has a wry smile on his face now. Mike's enjoying this bit of playing around. What about that thing in front of me? Can you see that thing in front of me? That thing in front of me is a video. And if I go to the right place on my computer, I can probably play it. If I can remember which video it was for me, I think it was that one. So we'll let that play and see what happens. And it starts playing the music. So it does work, except you can't hear the music because I haven't faded the music in. But I could fade the music in. That is actually a video of our entry screen, which wasn't a very intelligent choice by me because it doesn't change the whole time, does it? I should have done our outro screen, which does change. And that's all I have. That's all I have. But I've got a scene here with 4 different inputs. And the biggest problem in using anything like this is, have you got the inputs to use? Now, I've got 2 cameras connected to this at the moment. So I could take one of the cameras and I could put one of the cameras in one of the boxes. Why not do that? So let's take the thing below me and let's go and find the camera for the other camera. If I can find it. There it is. There we are. So there's 2 of me. So there's 2 cameras now running on this thing at the same time. Got me up top and me down below as well. 2 camera inputs. The side images, well, they're coming from a ATEM by Blackmagic. And they're coming in as 1 more camera, but I've put the camera on both the screens. And that ATEM is taking an input from my laptop, which is here running PowerPoint slides. It could be running anything else. It could be running a graphics program. It could be doing anything you like. But simply put, you can build these scenes, or you can get them. This is the default one for vMix, and I liked it because it just looks good. And you can set these up as you like. And as you can see, I am behind this desk area. So you can put things in front and behind them, just as in the way you could do overlays and have overlays in front of behind things. And this is maybe a more engaging way to bring your webinars to life. I think it is, because it's unexpected. And you don't have to stay in one scene. You could have multiple scenes set up to do different things like this. But it is, I believe, more engaging. And that's what this is all about. This is all about getting you to think beyond just one guy sitting with a background, or in this case, a black background, and taking it to something which is a bit more exciting, or I disappear into the screen. And as I said, pretty much all of the video editing packages that are out there do this. And if you want to pay 50 grand, 100 grand, this is the basis of where all the TV production studios start. They start with this simple concept. They take it to a much greater level. They make it more complicated. They make it more interactive. But this is the starting point for that. And it's up to you how you lay out the screens, and it's up to you how many screens you have. And you may want to be standing there in a virtual place with a big PowerPoint slide thing next to you. You may want to bring in videos. You may want to, there's anything you like, you can do. If you have the right software, and then you can connect the right things. And it's probably connecting the things in is probably the harder thing to do than actually run the software. Because if you're going to run lots of pretty boxes like the ones at the side and the one below me, you've got to have some inputs to use. Otherwise, there's nothing to show off. So the biggest problem actually is how to interface your things together. And that's where plugging in video cameras through USB starts to get a little bit limiting, because there's only so many carriers you can plug in. Once you have video adapters, I'm trying to think of a non-technical name to try and keep this simple for you. Once you have a video adapter that allows you to plug other video devices in to your main machine, then that's when things get exciting. And I'm sure at this point that Mike is really ready to deliver lots of things that he'd like to say. So come on the stage, Mike. I was going to try and bring you in a window, Mike, but I couldn't actually get that bit working. Maybe while you're talking, I'll see if I can get you onto one of my windows.
All right. So what John is in the production world, we call that a virtual set. And each input, so basically based on the virtual set that John is running, that allows you to modify the content per each set. So as you see beside me here where John is, so over there, John is officially in, again, a virtual set that has 4 different potential inputs on it. Himself behind the desk, the fake TV in front of him in the desk, and the fake 2 TVs on each side of him. So this is very popular in the world of, if you've been at a local event, and again, you have PowerPoint on a projector or on a TV, this is what John is simulating there. And again, on an event that John has done recently, he's actually had PowerPoint slides on two actual physical TV screens that were behind the actual presenter. Could John have brought a very expensive type of environment as his virtual set to this event? He could have, but again, their budget would have been right through the roof. So again, this is where you're bringing a different level to your webinars. And again, John could actually get to the point of, because of the fact that he's using vMix, and vMix has some Zoom integration in it, John is doing his best to actually potentially, even though I haven't got a green screen behind me, for the magic of television, or the magic of vMix in this case, he might be able to bring me, I don't know, John, beside you, behind the desk. What do you think?
I think it's not going to work.
Wonderful live recordings, or
Yeah.
live. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Live
when you-
experimenting on the fly.
Exactly. It did say do an update before I loaded it in, and now I've done the update, but I can't see you. Well, I can see you, but I can't get you to be seen on the screen. Which is annoying.
As an actual Zoom input.
Yeah. So we're not getting that. So yeah, I think I better. So what should I show you then, so that you can see what's going on? Yeah, that's best.
All right, back to Johnny.
Okay, so if I go to my screen share, and if I share my screen now with you, you can see that this is the input here. So here I am on the input twice. And all I have here is a vMix system, right, which allows me to set up scenes. But effectively what I've got is I've got a stage area here. And I can then go to layers. And I can see all the layers, all the bits that I've got here. And then I can just change them around. So if I want to change me up the top with the one down the bottom, so all I need to do is choose the input, which happens to be 7 for that one. It says there. So I could change that to any other input I have on my system, which can be anything really, but I will change that to that one. And now that one is up the top, you see? And then if I wanted to change the one down the bottom, I could choose maybe a simple slide. So I could change that to that. And that looks a bit silly. So let's change that back to up the top there. And then if I decided that I was too small or too big even, I could go to the settings for that particular layer. And if I go to position, I can make myself smaller like that. And then I might have to move myself a bit. So I might have to move myself down a bit or up a bit to get to work. When I go back to the other screen, which is that one. Yeah. Am I a little bit smaller or did I hit the wrong button there? I'm not sure if I did. No, I think I did. I think I hit the wrong button. There we are. Let's try that again. Yeah, there we see. I can make myself a little bit smaller. Whee! Or I can go totally out of character. And if I do it, zoom it up big like that, not only does it look stupid, but you can now see how I'm hidden behind this desk. So you can see how I'm hidden behind this desk. I can change my size and I can even lift myself up a bit because you see I only get cut off there. So out of proportion now, but you can now see how it's in this particular program, it's really quite easy to move things around. And if I did have room, you see, I could move myself over here and then I could have dropped Mike in next to me. And then we would have had the two of us on the desk together with a transparent background. So what am I saying? I'm saying this is really easy. It's actually, once you get the knack of it, it's actually really easy to do this sort of thing. And most of the other programs are quite easy too. And the nice thing is, of course, that these screens on the side, we've got the distortion, and that distortion, which makes them look 3D-like, and that's what really, to me, that's what really nails the effect. Having lots of things flat is one thing, but when we were talking about this on another show, we were talking about turning things around and making them more interactive. This, to me, this looks a better effect because you've got graphics that's making it look like a different thing. The only thing at the moment that doesn't look right to me is, frankly, because I'm just too big. I'm just too big for the stage. So I need to be shrunk a bit, and then I can need to be lined up with the stage. Whoops, wrong way. Like that. And I now look a lot more realistic, I think, Mike, don't I? That looks a bit more realistic than it was before.
You do, John. Are you going to be showing them how the virtual set functionality works?
Well, that's it there. What did you want to know?
Are you going to be flying them in to your positions?
Sorry, I'm not sure. You're getting technical on me now.
There's ways for us to actually come in and join you closer as you come into the desk, as long as that is built into that virtual set.
Oh yes. I can't do that the way I've done it now, but what I could do is I could take, so you have to be careful here because I've just crashed it now, have I? Yes, I have. Because you can so you can completely how can I put this? You can get completely carried away. Let's put it that way. So when you think of this, where I am now, this little stage that I'm on now. So I am a camera input who's been resized, and I've had my background taken away, and I'm now laying on this in this environment. My PowerPoint slides are effectively screen shares, but they are coming in through the ATEM. So they're coming in as a video input, and they're both each side. So I've duplicated that each side. And then I've got that little video, which is now down there, which I have an input. So there's a cascading effect here. I've started as one item. I've been edited, and then I've been overlaid into this world. Those two are separate items that have been overlaid into this world from the items up the side that allow me to take the inputs. So I've got an input that's taken another input. What I could do now is I could make a completely fresh input, and I could put that input, make that have the stage as a source, and then I could zoom in everything to a particular point on that stage. So I could make that on top of that, and then you could keep going until the computer gives up and cries and says that's enough, John. But you can create scenes from another scene and make more scenes carrying on from there. And the only problem you've got then is remembering in what order all the scenes are, so that you get them in the right order and they all make sense. But yes, you could do that, Mike. So I could do an ultimate, or I could do what I could do is I could do versions, because if I go like that, as you notice, it animates. So I could create another scene where I'm zoomed into that stage, and then it would zoom into that stage. So I could do, if I can probably do that quite quickly, actually. Let me do that for you, as you've challenged me for it. So what I could do is I could say, oh yeah, that'll be fun. So I'll do that one. So I created another virtual set. Actually, I think it's plugged in. It's programmed into this one as well. Let me just check. No, I'm not sure it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure, John, if that specific virtual set in vMix actually has the virtual flyable situations or not, but that's why I was curious if that one actually did or not. I don't remember each individual one. I know there are certain ones that have the animations where all of a sudden you can zoom in as if you're zooming in camera wise, but
yeah, I thought I saw, well, I've seen it on another one, but I'm just trying to now see if I can get it to work on this. There are some presets on some of them that are, as you say, that allow you to and I can't see it. So no, I can't see it on this one either. I saw it on this one just now. Okay, so there is a zoom in button. So there's that. Oh, it's very wobbly. Don't know why it's wobbly. Is it wobbly for you? No, it's not wobbly for you. No,
it's wobbly that we're seeing in the share, John, if that's what you meant.
yeah, but it wasn't wobbly on the other one. Yeah, that will probably be too complicated to set up, but yeah, it's there now. This is weird. That one's got it. Well, let me show you this then. Let me show. And I haven't set anything up for this, but this one has this feature. So there's your layout, and I've got some buttons here. And I got some variations, which I
right, that which would be great to actually, so on on the left, on your, over
There
your
we are.
right shoulder. Yeah. Exactly. Where it does the slight modifications of, gives that, right. Exactly.
So this one, yeah, has the. So I could probably set that up for, well, I could set that up. So I could set that up for something to do pseudo camera changes.
Right. And
And I could
again,
do
that's a
them.
very usual type of situation that you will see news people do. You'll see this in newsrooms. You'll see this corporately. This could be done very easily corporate wise as well.
Yeah.
Because again, John would be the actual person in blue behind the desk the whole time. All right, let's watch. John, are you going to build it or no?
I'm going to try and see if I can find out
All
what it
right.
is.
Let's watch John build.
Well, I'm assuming that that one is that one. It seems to be zoomed in, so I can't. What have I done? What have I broken? No, that's not that one. Oh, yeah, well, there's the slideshow. So I forgot my slideshow out, which is no. Yeah, so there's my slides.
Very
Now
nice.
let's see if I can find me. That's the background. So you see, I can even, I could even change this background to something completely different if I wanted to. Take away the default one and put something else in. That's the speaker. So if I go and get me as a speaker. There I am.
There you are.
So there I am, and there's my
Yeah,
slides.
So I would make yourself bigger now.
Okay, so I can just go edit, and I can just zoom myself up a bit. And I seem to have taken my own head off somehow. Don't know how I've done that. Probably the way I'm sitting. So yeah, so I can make myself a bit bigger. And then of course I can, whoops, lift myself up a bit. So I get a bit more above the thing. There we are. And that now can go there, and I can go live. And there I am live. As you
So
said,
go ahead, John.
other
Yeah, go ahead.
systems are available, but the principle for all of them is the same, basically the same idea. You're just putting a whole set of items on the screen. You choose their order, so which one is in front of the other to make sense, and you just build what you want. And you can, in this program and in many others, you can have multiple scenes, so you can have different scenes. And as Mike said, if you have scenes in the same group, you can do this animation. And not the best animation, but just to give you an idea, you see, because I'm on both screens, it zooms me into a particular place. And that's it. That's it. If I have scared you, I'm sorry. If I've inspired you, great. It is a lot more fun than just some boring background. Even the virtual boring backgrounds from Zoom. This is another level. This is another level. It's not that complicated. And I believe it gets engagement, because people are soon going to start saying, well, is that a real set? Where did you get it from? They're going to want to hang around just to hear what you're up to and how you've done it. It's good fun, and I think it works well. And I commend you to have a look at a virtual set, a virtual production software. There are quite a few of them available. Mike, there's quite a few on the Apple side. Now vMix is useful for playing with this on the Windows side, because I happen to
Right.
know they give about 60-day trial of the software.
Correct. Yeah. I trying to remember if it's 60 or 90-day trial. So what the main reasoning that they offer the trial for everyone to try on their Windows machine is for you to be able to test it. And they will offer you what they call their full license, which is all the features of vMix. But if you only want to, beyond the free trial, only need certain portions of their features that they offer, then you should choose your license accordingly from there then on. So if you did want the virtual sets, again, you would have to be at a certain license level with vMix. And yes, this would be additional to having a Zoom license, because vMix is not associated with Zoom.
No.
In the only association that Zoom and vMix actually has is that Zoom has worked in conjunction with vMix to have the Zoom capabilities of having the Zoom integration into their software. So you could actually, unfortunately, we can't demo that today, but John is able to, if he could, even though vMix is connected right now, he should be able to bring me in and actually have me sit beside him on the desk. But unfortunately, right now, because there's a brand new version of vMix, the new vMix Zoom SDK came out, and vMix has updated to that new version. But unfortunately, during the process of us setting up the show today, it did not get us working properly, so that I could actually be brought in as well. But yes, John, you are correct that you can actually download vMix, test it out for at least 60 days. I believe it's 90 days. If you go to vmix.com, they will actually give you more information on that, where you can actually download the software for yourself, test it out on your machine, because that is the most important as far as vMix is concerned. The people at vMix is to make sure that the hardware that you're using, your Windows hardware that you are actually using for vMix, you can actually do the items you need to get done, because vMix is using a lot of well-known resources. They do suggest your PC to be of gaming capabilities, because they do utilize the NVIDIA graphics tool, graphics cards that are built into PCs. So if you do have a NVIDIA-based graphics card, they will utilize that. They also utilize AMD and Intel, but they do specialize in NVIDIA because of its extra capabilities with all the CUDA cores that NVIDIA has come up with, that vMix has made sure they can champion using the GPU of that brand.
I'm just trying to find which of the Mac software would give a free demo version, but I can't.
Yeah. So as John's looking for that, the ones that we do know of that are functioning, that do have Zoom capabilities, as far as we understand, is Ecamm, Ecamm Live, I believe it's called, John, right? And Mimo Live
I'm just
are the
checking
two different products.
I'm just checking their sites at the moment, and I can't see if there's a. I'm pretty sure one of them's got a demo. Yes, Mimo
A
Live's
free
got
trial
an,
of some sort.
yeah, Mimo Live's got an license. Doesn't say how long it is, but it has got an evaluation license. But I can't see how long it is.
Right.
But it's certainly there,
Yeah,
so
so
at least you can try.
And of course, everybody that is watching us will going, but I've heard about OBS. That is correct. OBS, again, you could utilize OBS. It's not, there's the integration that John showed you today is not in OBS. Could you build an OBS? You could, if your skill set is, um, if you're able to uh, utilize some third-party software in conjunction with OBS. Right now, it is not native to OBS to be able to do what John has showed us today during our show today. So take that into consideration. OBS, again, currently there is no Zoom integration either. So if using OBS today, if John wanted to bring me in, he would have to actually use some, again, third-party software, or going back to the old classic screen scraping of being able to bring in Zoom in one of your TVs, in one of your monitors, and then being able to bring that in somehow, some way into OBS would be the method of doing that. But again, with vMix, Ecamm, and Mimo Live, you don't have to worry about doing stuff like that. They become, as these video software packages classify them as, virtual inputs.
Ecamm Live does have a 14-day demo as well, so you could try that for free as well and see which one you
Excellent.
like. See which gets you interested. But
Yeah,
it's
and
not-
again, the best
it's not
way to
complicated.
use the software too is to make sure that, again, if you're using the software, if you're going to be using Zoom, you got to make sure that all your software is happy on that PC or Mac that you're using, because what you don't want the piece of software to do is actually start conflicting with each other. And on top of that too, if the amount of resources that one piece of software is overtaking the other piece of software for it to get its job done, then you'll start to see freezing, audio issues. So again, definitely practice. If this means you going into your own meeting or webinar by yourselves, by all means do so. And again, practice makes perfect in this regards, John.
Yeah, but you have to play first. Play, then practice. It's well
Yeah,
worth looking into.
play.
It's
Yeah.
easy to do, and if you have, setting up the scenes is the hardest thing. Once you've got your scenes designed, then you just can just flip from one thing to another, and it gets quite easy after that. So it's setting up that's the difficult bit. But frankly, I just hope I've inspired you to see how silly easy it is to do a simple layout, and for you to consider one of these packages just to take your green screen to a bit more than just a fake background. It honestly, if you have the technology to do it, and you do need a slightly beefier machine than just running standard stuff, but if you have the technology to do it, it honestly, it just blows people's minds. They start to wonder if you've got your own set. These do look realistic, and they look realistic because not because they are realistic. They look realistic because, frankly, this is what all the major TV production houses use. They don't use this particular piece of software that we're using, but they use a piece of software that works in exactly the same way. You take a green screen background of all the stuff you want to lose, and then you make yourself transparent on that green screen background. Then you pick up your image and drop your image into a scene. I saw a presentation yesterday from the BBC, who had done a seminar production all about the Artemis flying to the moon. And it was all done with a virtual 3D studio that they created in the computer, and a 3D model of the Artemis rocket. And after that, it was just zooming in and zooming out to various parts of that stage and various parts of the rocket, and then superimposing the presenter onto the screen so they looked like they were standing there. And what was really neat was they showed you the before and after. You know, they did that sort of swipe away when you could see everything before it was put together, and then they did a swipe over and you could see how all the graphics and everything laid up. And it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Took them ages because they built the whole model from scratch, but you don't need to do that. You only need to build the graphics and the images. You lay them out in the right order, and it looks convincing. exactly the same thing as the NFL people guys, the football guys do. They're doing the same thing. So they've made that normal. They've normalized that whole idea of building a scene, a set, and dropping some graphics in to put it together. So if you could do it as well, you look as good as them. And they're using 100. They're using 5 zeros on the end of their budgets, and you can do it for 3 zeros or less. You can put this together in the hundreds of pounds. They're doing it in the 100,000s of pounds. So love to see your comments and what you think and what you'd like to do with this and what you would want to do with this. And maybe we'll do some more deeper dives into some of this technology on some of the platforms to show you how it's done. But for me, that is, you know, Mike, does make Production Studio look a bit tame, doesn't it, when we do these sort of things? But Production Studio still works as an overlapping technology for all this because it allows me to set up a scene and then Mike can bring in a completely different scene. So just because you have a product like this doesn't mean you wouldn't consider perhaps having other layers of products that work and in other ways. And Production Studio is a good way of flipping around from one thing to another. But yeah, please download a demo of one of these products, have a play with it and see what you think. Love to hear your feedback. And I leave it to you, Mike, for your final thoughts.
All right. So my final thoughts on virtual sets is very interesting. Again, it is something to make sure that you play with. And then when you're ready and you're comfortable with the software itself, then taking that into the next level of bringing that into your Zoom will do exactly what John's showing you now. And John, you should fix your TV behind you while we're talking about this before we wrap up, to have your slide over there as well. And then you could then John could actually be doing multiple different things, and I will show everybody as John does that live, where he's switching that around. And but yes, so virtual sets are very, very useful, and again brings that professional look to your webinars or meetings, because again it allows you to be this professional looking. And I'm the remote guest now that John has brought in to Production Studio, but yet if John wants to show me slides, then I can always go through our friends at Production Studio, do that. Oh. And bring John full screen. So now he can actually control that and switch from, let's see if John's going to be scary enough to switch from that, showing him on that TV to the other TV. Oh, he's thinking about it. You found the button before.
No, I can't find it now. I need to make that. No, I can't do that now.
Nope.
Now you've confused
Can't
me
do that now. Uh-oh. That's all right. But yes, yeah, virtual sets again. John needs more practice and more playing, but you can see even with you know what you want. What you know where it is. Did you find it? In the infamous world of vMix?
No, I was actually going to cheat.
It's been a while, John, but I think it's within the actual virtual set that is now the input. I think the actual animation stuff is one of the buttons in the actual input itself for you to be able to go from scene to scene to scene. If I remember correctly.
Oh no, I was going to try and find the camera. So now I can't do it. I was going to try and find the camera and get the camera to change, but I can't find my change camera button. Got too many windows, not enough time.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of time, John, that's a good segue.
It is.
Let's tell everybody
is.
about our upcoming shows this week.
Well, we've got a Lord Zoom live tomorrow, Tuesday. And I'm not sure what we're doing because I've got two different ideas. We could be looking at schedules because I had a meeting with the schedule design team. Yeah, I spoke to the actual engineers that do Zoom schedule. And so I may be showing that off tomorrow if I can pull together all the information I got from them last week. And we will do that. And of course, the week after, we're expecting to talk about Zoom events. And if we're lucky, we'll have the product manager of Zoom events, Josh, join us on that meeting. And if you think this was complicated, I'm going to try on Friday to show you how you can go 3D cameras for the production guys. Because these are fixed cameras that we're looking in this set, but actually the technology to do 3D cameras is getting good. And I almost had it working this afternoon, so I'm pretty confident that I can have it working by Friday. And we'll be doing that, but check always on go.lordzoom.com/links. Although I think Mike persuaded me that go.lordzoom.com also has the links on there, because I don't know when you're watching this recording, and we are constantly adding and mucking around with shows. Once they're finished, they'll all be on Zoom, but if you join a show live, you've got a chance to interact with us live, and when we finish this show, we'll be able to have a conversation with you about the show we've just done. So it's always worth registering and coming to watch us live, and then you can interact with the audience. We've only got room for 1,000 people. That's the only license we've got. And I do know from experience that it's quite hard to get the first few hundred, but once you get the first few hundred, it's actually quite easy to fill up 1,000 when you have the followers. So we'll see how that goes. But for today, that is all. Thank you very much for your time. Zoom on, go green, and take that green screen just a little bit further than one background. That's my challenge to you, and I look forward to seeing what you do with it. Thanks for your time.
Take care,
Mike.
everyone. Yeah. Take care, everyone. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to let everybody know, including YouTube and Zoom, how much you love our content. See you guys next week.
Every week we open wide the virtual stage where ideas spark and wisdom fills the page. From the UK to the land of maple trees, John and Mike bring clarity with ease. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine your message, taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. We're building meetings, webinars with might, helping you shine your message, taking flight. Whether you're new or you've done this before, Lord Zoom Live will help you do much more. Thank you for joining us, we're glad you're here. Together we grow, it's loud and clear. On Zoom we connect, we learn, we grow. Welcome my friend, enjoy the show. From big events to breakout rooms with flair. We've got the tools and we're ready to share. Guest experts drop in, bringing gold each time, with insights and tricks to help you climb. Can't make it live, we've got you still on YouTube and LinkedIn. We're giving that thrill, so tune in later or catch us next round. Either way, your success is where we're bound. Thank you for joining us, we're glad you're here. Together we grow, it's loud and clear. On Zoom we connect, we learn, we glow. Welcome my friend, enjoy the show. And make it live, we've got you still. On YouTube and LinkedIn, we're giving that thrill. So tune in later or catch us next round. Either way, your success is where we're bound. Now take the spotlight, the stage is yours. Bring your message through virtual doors. Each week we gather, and now you know you're not alone, so let it flow. Thank you for joining us, now go and shine. Share what you've learned, your voice, your time. With Lord Zoom Live, your power will grow. It's time to build your own show.